compensation case or an automobile case that the client's asking about Social Security disability. Social Security disability is by federal statute and very different than Florida law that controls your auto accident and your workers' comp claim. The federal government you pay into, and before 65 years old, you can apply for Social Security disability, which will give you a check. And 2 years from the date that they decide you're disabled, you will be able to get a Medicare card, just as if you turned 65. Couple things you got to prove for Social Security disability. Number one, you have to be eligible. That means that you have to pay in the system, and the rules say you have to stay 5 of the last 10 years you've worked, you've paid into the system. So you could work 2 years, take a year off, work another year, as long as the last 10 years you have paid 5 years into it. All right, number one, you got to be over 50. That came out during the George W. Bush years. The closer you get to 65, the better. Over 55, you're considered advanced aging, and the closer you get to 62, the easier it is to get. Number two, you got to prove that you cannot do what you've done the last 15 years. So if you've been a welder, a commercial truck driver, a nurse, whatever it is, you have to have medical testimony that you cannot do what you've done over the last 15 years. Number two, they're looking for your transferable skills. Do you have a job that you can now go back to? So if you were a cab driver, dispatcher in New York City, well, maybe you could work at Mears in Orlando and say cab 54, go to First and Elm, or whatever it is. So they're looking at transferable skills that you have. Next, they look at your education. The more educated you are, the more unlikely you're going to get Social Security disability. So a college-educated person is not going to have near as good a shot as somebody who maybe stepped away from school in 7th or 8th grade. Finally, you've got to prove that there's no jobs for you to do. And I mean, that's a toll booth collector, a security guard, an eyeglass assembler, parking lot attendant. And the way and the ace in the hole here is that if you could get a doctor to say that your pain complaints are so bad, you're going to miss at least 4 days a month. So if you work 20 days a month and you're going to miss 4 or more, you'll win Social Security every time. Hopefully this has been helpful for people concerned about Social Security disability. Go to my website, frankitson.com, and if you think somebody could benefit, please share this with somebody on Facebook. Thanks again.